medalist. That was the 2010 Olympics, yes?
Vancouver.
And now you just put those Olympic curling shoes off to the wayside, and now you're climbing hills.
You're climbing mountains instead.
Eh?
Yeah, I've changed out my curling shoes for hiking shoes.
Atta girl.
Dave Rodney is the Calgary MLA, Calgary Lockheed representing. He's here. He's climbed Kilimanjaro and Everest a couple of times. We've established that. And this gentleman beside you is a person who actually motivated you to say, you know what, it's not impossible. His name is Jamie Clark, who is a Canadian adventurer.
Right there.
Author. What's the name of the book? Which one, eh?
Well, I've written two.
Yeah.
My grandmother says they're both great cures for insomnia, so I don't suggest you go looking for them. But Everest, above all else, I think you can find it for 39 cents on Amazon.
Oh, stop it.
Signed copy, you get it for 20 cents.
What's the name of the, what are the names of the books?
Above all else,
yeah.
and the other one is Everest to Arabia.
Okay. Filmmaker as well?
Did a few little projects, yes, with the CBC, Nat Geo, and so
There
forth.
you go.
Yeah.
Entrepreneur?
Entrepreneur, yeah, absolutely. I have a little shop here in Calgary. This is a ridiculous, shameful plug.
Yes.
But you asked the question.
Please
So
do.
on 8th Avenue and 1st Street called Out There. It's been there for 10 years.
It's out
12
there?
years.
I've shopped there.
Have you?
Yeah,
See,
many
I like to
times.
think of it
I
as
love
the premier outdoor gear shop. It's the stuff that I use or Dave would use and now Cheryl will use, whether you're skiing or hiking or climbing or fishing or walking your dog in Nose Hill. I like to think this is the best gear that's available for that sort of activity.
It says here you're also an inspirational speaker.
I have had a great career. I've been very lucky to travel actually all over the world giving talks at conferences, associations, philanthropic or otherwise.
Yeah.
Last week in a local elementary school, arguably my favorite audience. But spreading the gospel of inspiration, yeah. Using mountains and metaphors to, you know, I'm a big believer in getting people active. I personally am thinking of suing Netflix. Here is a terrible corporation that has basically delivered awesome television to us at our decision at any moment. And then when one episode is over, it counts down 12 seconds to the next episode. I'm a disciplined man. I cannot watch one episode at a time. And usually
House
my
of
wife,
Cards.
I know, House of Cards, my wife, Jamie! That's okay, baby, I'll be up in a minute. 4 hours later, I'm watching this. Yeah. So when I grew up, TV was Cheers. What a garbage television
well,
show.
Hold on. Did you know, as a guy in high school, that this is where your life would take you?
No.
I mean, are you that guy? Are you that same guy in high school that you are today? I get the feeling that you probably were to some degree, but you're not being honest with yourself,
You'd have to ask my buddies.
Jamie.
Yeah, ask
I bet you were. I bet you there was an element in there. We don't have all day, Jamie.
I think I was kind of a moron, to tell you the truth, in high school, but I was very, we live in Calgary, and the mountains captured my imagination. I was a big reader. My mom gave me a book about, called Paddle to the Amazon, father and son from Winnipeg, Manitoba, and I thought, that's it. That's my path. I want to be an adventurer.
Wow.
And with this proximity to mountains, why not be a mountain climber? My mom wasn't a big fan of hockey, fearful that I might hit my head, knowing what was in there was
Like
limited.
every other parent, yeah.
Wanted to protect it. And so I was encouraged to travel in the mountains. And then I guess as a young boy, I had the audacity to dream that I could climb Mount Everest, or these highest of peaks. And at that point, at 13, you have the intellectual capacity to wrap your mind around a goal, yet I was still naive enough to believe that anything in my life was possible. The chorus of poisonous voices would soon come to talk me out of it. And I was at least believed in that dream. It's very, very, very lucky to have a dream as a young boy and to realize it as an adult. And ultimately, in a weird way, to create a life for my family in something that I love. And at an early age, I made a decision that I want in my lifetime I wanted a wealth of experience, you know, a richness of experiences, not things. And, you know, that's hard to stick to when you're, you know, dirtbag living in a van down by the river. But I'm a wealthier person for it.
So you've retired now from climbing Everest.
Yes.
But what about other climbs? Are you still doing some smaller ones in between?
Yeah, it's very family focused. I think we spoke in an earlier segment that I climbed Everest with a family and just found that I was being a selfish jerk. And my kids called me on the carpet, and thank goodness they did. And so now it's very family focused. So we do smaller trips with a higher probability of survival, and we enjoy that adventure together. We trekked in Nepal together as a family, and you know, my wife and Barbara and I are planning things. My kids don't always like it. But you know, I'm not above forcing them into a long march in the backcountry.
But I'm guessing they love the pictures, the stories, the experiences, and they can't
Our whole
stop
life,
talking
yeah.
when they're talking to their
Best
friends
stuff
and
we ever
family.
do,
So
yeah.
That's all
the
you
lessons that they've
remember.
learned.
That's all I remember looking back is the
Totally.
camping trips and the times. The ones you
Exactly.
complained about going on, but the ones that you remembered.
Yeah.
Ultimately, we'll remember
Yeah.
forever. Yeah.
Those are the rich things. So that's kind of what our life is about. And that's what my business is about. I want to inspire people to be active. There are a million reasons to stay on the couch
Absolutely.
and watch those great television shows on Netflix. Video games today. When I grew up, maybe a little older than you guys, remember Pong? Boop. That was a great video game. Today,
Pac-Man was the best. I remember.
Yeah,
that's it.
yeah,
and
you're
now,
right.
and today, my son and buddies can disappear into the basement with big screens, headphones, awesome games. How do you go outside? How do you leave the couch? Video games, Netflix, YouTube, video games, Netflix. 12 hours gone. My mission in life, and hopefully we'll wrap business in, is to get people
And,
moving.
you know, Jamie and I have actually, we talked one time about a year ago about this. I was Associate Minister of Wellness at the time, and we mentioned Get Outdoors Weekend, which happens every second weekend in April every year. But the whole idea is not that you do that on that particular weekend. That was just wake up from the winter.
Yeah.
I think, let's face it, Jamie, it's an individual choice. We got to get up away from electronics are great. Media is fantastic, but it's a tool. It's part of our life. It can't be our entire life. And so we need, I believe, as for instance a province, to create the sort of environment in which it's conducive for people to actually be attracted to get out there and do great things, because it's fun, and the things you learn about yourself and your friends. You can watch something or you can actually do it. And I think what's great about what you're doing is you're going to be sharing this online and through a documentary, and other people will be inspired to do exactly it. What is my Everest? What is my Kilimanjaro? Maybe it has nothing to do with a mountain. It could have to do with any other cause that they really embrace. And that's what it's all about.
It's also about balance as well too. I mean, we talk about it here at Shaw, but the balance is really, really key as well too. So you have a love for something, but don't forget there's other things in this world as well too. We want to just give one quick plug again to your great cause. Up to Kilimanjaro, you're going in June again.
June, yep, and it's we're going to do the climb. We're asking people to go online and donate, and it's worldvision.ca/Kili, and they can donate online or sponsor a child.
You've got some great inspiration from these two here today.
I have. This has been
Jamie,
amazing.
keep talking here. This is great stuff. Thank you all three for being here this morning.
Thanks.